and good evening, everyone. And I hope like everyone is staying safe and in your home. First of all, thank you so much for registering to the Magento Master Virtual Series. So DCKAP has been actively organizing Magento meetups for more than 5 years. COVID-19 has impacted the global economy like never before, while many are expecting life to return to normalcy and businesses start functioning as usual. The situation is still flogged around with uncertainties. So during these hard times, like we were looking for some means to organize a meetup to reach the Magento community. So our idea was to rope in Magento Masters and ask them to share their insights with people across the globe through virtual meetup. So our first virtual meetup happened in April, 3 months ago, and it was indeed a great success. That spirit made us think why not facilitate such meetups frequently. Until now, we have hosted around 8 episodes of Magento Masters Virtual Series. So this is our eighth episode. This is our ninth episode in the series with Oleksandr, the backend developer in Vaimo, and 2020 Magento Master. And he's about us to walk us through the nitty-gritty features and exciting changes that are about to come with Magento 2.4.0. Coincidentally, Magento 2.4.0 is scheduled to roll out tomorrow. That is no, I would say like it's an accident, an amazing factor. And thank you so much, Alexander, for accepting our invitation, for representing our complete Magento and sharing your insight to our community. And it's my pleasure to give a small introduction about the 2020 Magento Master Alexander. So he started his career as a developer, having a strong background in JavaScript and PHP. He quickly found his niche towards Magento and successfully completed the Magento Developer Plus and Magento 2 Professional Developer certifications in 2017. Shortly after, his passion drove him towards contributing to the Magento ecosystem. From 2017 till date, he has been actively contributing to the Magento fraternity. Matter of fact, he is largely involved in the development of inventory project and in-store pickup features of Magento 2.4.0. As a result of his keen participation and relentless contribution, he was bestowed as the 2020 Magento Master. And thank you so much once again, Alex. And thank you everyone for registering to our Magento Master Virtual Series. I hope like you will have an amazing session today. And also, I would like to give a small introduction about the organization behind this Magento Master Virtual Series. So that is our DCKAP, is a digital commerce agency specializing in building e-commerce storefronts for clients abroad. And we specialize in Magento, Shopify, and BigCommerce. With 15 years of experience in the industry, we have developed a handful of products that allows brands and businesses to unleash their full potentials. So, Chorus, an automated integration tool for an ERP, CRM, and e-commerce stores, and we have Productimize, your product customization platform, a Flexipum, a product information management platform, a QA-Touch, your smart test management platform, and Visby, a new product of Ferrari, as an analytical platform where merchants are able to track their monthly reports and daily report. All that said, I don't want to hold off you guys from hearing out the captivating session by the wonderful speaker lined up for today. I'm sure that you will have a great learning experience today. And over to you, Alex. Thank you once again. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to say thank you for such provided possibility to be here and speak here. I will start with sharing my screen. Yep, and sharing the presentation. So today's topic has name Brave New World of Magento 2.4. But first, let me introduce myself again. As I said, my name is Oleksandr Kravchuk. I'm backend developer at Vaimo United Arabian Emirates branch. I'm also certified Magento 2 professional developer and solution specialist. And I'm addictive. Yeah, I have an addiction, and this is addiction to the contribution. And my first pull request, it was opened in 24 March in 2018. And then I become an active contributor to the Magento and Magento ecosystem. And shortly, my contribution were seen from the Magento community engineering group, and I was recognized as a Magento maintainer. And then in the 2020, I became a Magento master. And it was about past and about me. So let's talk about today. What we'll have today. I will start from short overview of Magento 2.4 changes, which are going to come. And we'll continue with changes to the Magento Inventory or MSI project. Then we will change our focus to the in-store pickup feature as a part of Magento Inventory project. I will tell you a story about how in-store pickup was created. I believe that the best way is to understand why in-store pickup is turned out the way it is understand the story and the story how it was created. Then we'll talk about features, architecture, user interface, and go deeply in the case study related to the in-store pickup functionality. And it's about today. What about tomorrow? And what tomorrow is. First of all, tomorrow is increment of today, and tomorrow is the release date, or as Adobe call it, a game-changing release for Magento 2.4. Yeah. So what we know about Magento 2.4, what it should be look like. First of all, it will contain thousands of different bug fixes, performance optimizations, and different security enhancements. And that is it. Besides that, it will also have some really great changes which I would like to highlight. First of all, it will add support of PHP 7.4, and currently it will support only two versions of PHP, 7.3 and 7.4. This means that with 2.3, it will be only common supported is PHP version 7.3. Yeah. Relation database management system. Support of MySQL 8 is introduced. So currently there are supported two lines of MySQL, is 8 and 5.7, and also supports a few lines of MariaDB versions 10.2-10.4. About search engine, so introduced support of Elasticsearch 7. This also means that Elasticsearch 5 line is deprecated for now, but is still available to be used. And of course, yeah, it's end of life for MySQL search engine support. What does it mean? What could it mean for you? At least for me, it means that I cannot run my Magento installation locally without an Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch become from optional tool to be installed to require to install Magento to the required tool. But I believe that most of you are already using Docker, so it won't be such a big problem as it become for me. PHP unit. PHP unit library was upgraded from PHP unit 6 to PHP unit 9.1. It's really a huge upgrade and migration, which were done in the Magento tests, in test base. And I think if you're a developer, you will understand this slide. If you not, probably no. So let me be short. This change is related to the decomposition of Magento controllers. For now, previously, actually, any controller you would like to declare and any action you would like to declare, you need to extend the abstract action class. In the new Magento 2.4, it become abstract action class become deprecated. You don't need to extend it anymore. You can just implement the action interface, and what's the profit from this architectural change? First of all, it's provide possibility to get rid of anti-pattern, which call a big ball of mud, because when you extend in an abstract action class, you need to get all dependencies, and in most cases, you don't need them. You need just half of them or just none of them. And yeah, it's from mostly about architectural part, and about practical part, it provided a really great performance optimization, because currently it's start from 5% and ending by 30% optimization of controller action execution, depending on the size of and complexity of the controller, which you can measure. To both last changes related to PHP unit and this architectural change, we can say thank you to this guy, so Lukasz Bajsarovich. Actually, the both changes are introduced purely by community, and they were contributed from the community in face of this guy. And Composer plugin. So finally, Magento released it. Previously, it was in beta, but now it's officially released. This composer can be installed to your project and will simplify your procedure of Magento upgrade. It's going to resolve most conflicts which you will have with different libraries and Magento components version when you try to upgrade new version of Magento. I think it will be really useful when you start to upgrade to 2.4 Magento. PHP Stan. So Magento introduced a static analyzer to this static toolbox, and it can really decrease the number of blockers on the production, because it provides possibility to fast and simply run checks of possible inconsistencies, errors, or warnings, which can be found in your code, and you don't need to actually run any test for it. It's just executed statically, simply, and not difficult to set up it to be run on your project. New media gallery. So Magento in scope of Adobe Stock integration, but it was in scope of Magento Adobe Stock integration introduced new media gallery. Now it's going to replace old media gallery, but in 2.4 it will be added as an alternative option. So there will be a newer media gallery which is faster, with better UI, more well structured, and contains new better service contracts. And there will be a setting which provide possibility to change your media gallery which is currently used. It will be new media gallery will be secondary in 2.4.0 release. This means that by default it will be used the old media gallery, but since 2.4.1 old media gallery will become the secondary. So it means if it's clean installation, by default will be used new gallery. What does it mean actually for you and from your project? This means that if you would like to change the media gallery, and in any way, if you're going to follow the latest Magento versions on your project, you will be forced to change it. You need to rewrite all integrations which are related to the media gallery, because, as I already said, the service contracts are changed. Two-factor authentication will be supported by Magento login, as far as I know from admin panel, and it will be available in the Magento Commerce only for now. B2B enhancements, I really won't stop there. There are a lot of new features added, and a lot of performance optimizations were done. I think that we can dedicate a separated presentation for this topic, but there are really great changes coming to the Magento B2B extension. Yeah, and the probably said for someone fact that Magento, this really fancy web interface installer, is become removed in Magento 2.4. This means that no more Angular code in the Magento code base, and the only possible way to install Magento now is to use a command line interface. Yeah, Magento Inventory. So what was changed there? First of all, it's added support of bundle products to the Magento Inventory. Initially, when the MSI or Magento Inventory was released into the 3.0, it supports only the configurable and simple products. But in 2.3.2, it already supported the grouped products. And now in 2.4.0, it starts to support the bundle products. So this means that all types of products are currently supported with multi-source inventory or just Magento Inventory project. Performance boost, it's really nice and great change, which are going to come in early 2.4 release line. It provides the performance optimization for the MSI. Probably most of you face it that there was performance problems during the 2.3 releases, but in 2.4 it's at least in the first versions of 2.4 it will include partial improvement for the performance, but I saw the measurement of the final improvements, and with the final improvements when it will be done in the earliest version of 2.4, it will improve the performance with the MSI better than with legacy stock. This means that there will be no really reason to use a legacy stock anymore on your project. And before I continue, I would like to make a little off top. Months ago, there was a result of illegal deforestation and heavy rains in Ukrainian part of Carpathian. It led to fact that rivers overflowed and the soil started to move, which resulted in catastrophic consequences for local nature and for people who are living there. I was there a few weeks ago and I saw the results of this nature anger. And, you know, I come with understanding on one idea that, you know, in such crisis situation, when the crisis really happened, when the soil started to float under your feet, it's really depends how strong position you have. And actually in this situation for tree which are growing there, it's really depend how wide, strong and deep root system they has, and this becomes the question of survival for them in the same. And of course not without luck, because you should be lucky enough to survive. And you know, I think that we can say that similar thing is happen with the business. So survival of the business in some crisis situation, it really depends on the how wide, deep and strong the sales channel a business has. And coronavirus crisis shown that some businesses which didn't spend enough resources to grow their sales channels, they lost they become less the worst position than businesses who spend enough resources to, for example, grow their digital sales channel. And when you have the many sales channels, it's really important to make them consistent, to trying to create the omni-channel. And Magento in 2.4 make the next step in the direction to the omni-channel. Magento introduced the support of in-store pickup functionality. This means that any version of Magento you will install, starting from 2.4, it will already support the in-store pickup functionality. But to stay clear about what is it, let's check next case. Assume situation that we have a merchant. It's not just some regular merchant, it's a real brand with his own offline stores and online websites, and he has customers. The customers are really happy because they can not only buy online, but they can also buy in offline stores. So provide possibility for customer to make an order online and pick up it into the offline store called the in-store pickup delivery. And yeah, it's what in-store pickup is. And when I joined the development of the in-store pickup as a Magento contribution project, I found that there was a cool wiki page which was wrote on the Magento Inventory GitHub, and there, there was beginning of my story of contribution to the in-store pickup. But story of the implementation of the in-store pickup, it was started in the Australia. There was two great pull requests were created by these great guys. First one is introduced the possibility to search closed stores by your geo position, and the second one is introduced the possibility to mark your sources as place for pickup. And guys, of course, received t-shirts for their contributions, and we received a question. Which part, if we are going to build the in-store pickup based on the multi-source inventory or the inventory, which part of this project, of this context, of this domain, we should use as a place where order can be picked up. If you are not familiar with this picture, I will try to make a short recap. So generally, this is the structure of the MSI. And in the left one, with yellow blocks, you can see the sources or warehouses. Actually, there can be any place where goods can be stored. In the middle one, the green one, is the stocks. They contain aggregated quantities. For example, when you have like 10 warehouses in your country and you would like to sell all these goods, and there is any limitations for delivery inside your country, you can aggregate them in the single stock and use as a sales channel to sell the items from this stock. For now, the Magento supports only one kind of sales channel, it's a website. And from this, we understand that most suitable entity which can be used as a place where order can be picked up is actually source. So we just added a new checkbox which can say if this source is currently can be used for the pickup or it cannot be used for the pickup. And from that, we started to analyze which attributes more can be included to this pickup location. We analyzed like 14 different brands with different business areas and come with understanding that there's a few attributes which they have in common. And looking into this list, we found that there few of them are missing, and we just added them. So first of all, we added a front-end name. We added this field because, for example, from the inventory perspective, the source could have name like warehouse number 15 for a merchant, but for customer who will search for this source on the storefront, it can be more known like city mall. So it should have like a different names for the inventory perspective and the in-store pickup perspective. And the field front-end description, which actually implemented by WYSIWYG field, you can manage any content you like to have there, even in open hours. So this and multiple other decisions we did during the grooming meetings with Magento developers, architects, and product owners. And also we agreed the list of features which will be the part of the initial release. Yeah, what about features? First of all, it provides possibility, as I already said, to manage different content from Magento storefront and admin panel or admin area. Also, it provides possibility to execute the area search by address. This means that you are entering the address and it provides your closest stores to entered address. It can notify customers that order is ready to be picked up in the store. Store address, which is used for the pickup. Address of the store, it will be shown and saved as the order shipping destination address. Provided control of reservations. This means that if someone had placed orders, in-store pickup orders for your source, the quantity for these orders, it will be reserved from being delivered from some other not in-store pickup orders. I will tell about, we will see in this case a little bit later. Web API and GraphQL supports, though it's mostly for integrators, and delivery limitation to provide control which stores can be used for certain product to delivery, to pick up it. Yeah, let's talk about set, which not actually become a feature of in-store pickup. First of all, not a feature is to select store from the map. So currently Magento will not provide a map, but we created some small extension. Currently it open sourced. It's still not released, but at least it works somehow. And it provides the extension to the Magento in-store pickup and provide possibility to use map to select sources. You can actually, it's free to use. You can use it, contribute, do with it whatever you want. Yeah. Magento in-store pickup won't support the multi-shipping. So if you are going to ship the order, you can ship it only in one address to the one pickup location, and it won't support localization. This means that content for pickup location can be mentioned only in one language. Yeah, let's talk about architecture. First question, and I think the most difficult question for us which we faced is, are we really going to use a source entity, or probably we need to have something else to use as a place where order can be picked up? To understand this question, I will explain a little bit an example. So previously we have like only single context. It's context of inventory, and in this context we have like both the sources and stocks. Sources we are used for admin panel. This means that merchant is working with sources, but for customers we leave the stocks, which are represented as an aggregated quantity of items. And they are used on the Magento storefront. But when we added the in-store pickup context, the things become much difficult because we still have sources which are used actually in both contexts. But if we have the inventory context stocks to represent sources on the storefront, for the in-store pickup, we didn't found such entity. This means that we can start to use sources on the Magento storefront, but it will be wrong way, because actually we try to isolate this entity for the Magento admin panel, for the Magento backend. But to resolve this issue, we understand that we need to introduce a new entity, and actually this entity becomes the pickup location. And pickup location is just a projection of the source for the in-store pickup context, which are going to be used on the Magento storefront. What does it mean? Well, we're still working with sources when we are working in the admin panel, but when we are working in the storefront area, when we are going to browse and checkout and etc., we are working with pickup location entity. So what there was requirement to the pickup location entity? First of all, it should implement the data transfer object pattern, and it should be immutable, because if we are creating projection from the source, it will be not really cool if we can change it without changing source. And I mostly think it will be wrong. And of course, it should be extensible, because we really believe that in-store pickup will be really highly and heavily extensible functionality. What about extensibility, by the way? So when we are talking about the source, it's pretty easy, because they are using extension attributes, and you can easily extend it with your own attributes. But if we're talking about pickup location, after a few rounds of brainstorming and thinking, we found that there is nothing better than extension attributes, which can be used to extend the pickup location. But with only but, The extension attributes, they don't provide possibility to make your entity fully immutable. This means that we cannot change the attributes of the pickup location, but we still can change the extension attributes which it has. It's a limitation of the framework which we faced during the implementation, but I believe in one day this pickup location will be refactored and changed to be fully immutable. To create projection from the source, we created a special mapper. It, of course, uses XML. I think everyone loves XML. It uses XML to map the fields between the source and the pickup location. And it even supports the extension attributes. So it's almost can do everything. Check out Storefront. Let's look how it's look like on the Storefront. Here we can see that there's just default Magento checkout, nothing new. And here we can see the checkout with in-store pickup. Here you can see that there is only one field, email address, and possibility to select a store. When you click to the select store button, you can see the pop-up with drop-down of sources which can be selected. When you click the ship here button, you will see that source was selected as a shipping destination. So yeah, one more thing, there are some special thanks to these guys, Krzysztof and Mateusz. They're guys from Creative Style, and they actually contributed the storefront from the in-store pickup functionality. And you know, one day they just come to us and say, guys, for your information, we just launched our website with in-store pickup on board. And you know, our reaction was like this. Because actually it wasn't finished yet. It wasn't even an alpha release. It's even not all critical and required features were implemented during the development, but they launched their website, and fact is fact that NKD has become the first website in the universe with Magento in-store pickup on board. And when we started to look into how pickup location is put into the MSI structure, we understand that we need to implement our own way how we can search pickup locations, because how we can search the sources is not suitable in the way we are using in checkout, because actually sources shouldn't be searched and available in the checkout. And for this, we introduced like an extra layer. It colored with yellow. It's an in-store pickup layer. So everything starts from the search request. It's a container for the data. It contains different filters, sort orders, pagination information, scope type, scope code limitations, area filter, and etc. It's like a search criteria, but custom search request. Then it's become passed to the get pickup location service. It's exposed to web API and service contract. This service transforms it to the search criteria, just regular framework search criteria, which is being passed to the source repository. Then this source repository search and return us research source search result. Then this search result is being extracted by the strategy. Currently, the strategy really depends on the if you are using the area search or you're just looking for some other kind of searches. And in the result, it will transform it to the pickup location search. It's how a search request is look like. Here you can see that there is an area filter, which is presented by area interface, which actually has only two fields. First one is search term, actually the string for the search. In most cases, it will include the address for the search and the radius, which is will be used for the search of closest locations. The filters, it's like a set of different filters by different attributes like code, name, latitude, longitude, and etc. Page size, current page, it's for pagination. Scope type, scope code, it's correspondingly sales channel type and sales channel code. Sort, it's just regular sorting with possibility to add sort by distance, and of course extension attributes, because we believe that everything must be extensible. And GraphQL schema, yeah, we try to keep it as much as the same as currently Web API, because experience for integrators is important for us, not only extensibility. And what happened when the order was finally placed? Yeah, so there is, you can see the in-store pickup order, and I think some of you can notice that there is one extra button added. Notify order is ready for pickup. And when you click this button and everything is okay with your order, you will see the message that customer has been notified. The customer will receive a notification as an email on his mailbox, and the Magento receive the newly created shipment, because Magento need it for stock deduction. But what can be wrong in this situation? Yeah, first of all, let's check the case. We have like two sources of some product. It's the same product. The total quantity is 11. And we have like two orders placed with also total quantity 11. In any case, when you will try to notify that second order is ready for pickup in this situation, you will receive the error message that order is not ready to be picked up. And to fix this problem, you need to execute the internal transportation. Currently, it's available with Web API, and otherwise you need to use product details editing and change the quantity manually. The internal transportation will transfer the quantity from second source to first one. In result, the shipment, or not shipment, but notification can be done. In result, the shipment can be created and stock deduction can be run. So everyone is happy. Customers are notified that their orders are ready for pickup. Second case, it's a race condition between orders. The same situation, we have two sources with total quantity 11, and we have two orders with total quantity 5, which are placed as in-store pickup orders for source 1. Unfortunately or fortunately for us, we have the third order. The third order is just regular order, and it contains the quantity 6 to be shipped. And if some cases the third order will be handled first, it can happen that your source selection algorithm will advise you to execute a shipment from the first source to deliver the quantity 6 from one place. And this is actually a situation we would like to avoid, because if the quantity 6 will be shipped from the first source, this will mean that we need to make an internal transportation between sources, deliver quantity 5 from second source to first one, and only then the first and second orders will be able to be picked up. So we taught the source selection algorithm how to forget about the quantity which were placed using the in-store pickup delivery method. And now to fulfill the third order, we need to create two shipments from the second source and the first source. And in any case of time, in any period of time, the first two orders will be able to be notified that they are ready for pickup from the first source. And the third case I would like to tell you, it's remind our great merchant. It's not so simple as we thought. It don't has only like one kind of stores. Our merchant has like two different type of stores. It has like network of small stores, which are really selling some small goods, and they have like less square meters, and they are just using to sell some small goods, for example, mobile phones. And he has also big stores, which are has hundreds or even thousands of square meters, and there he is selling like some big electronic or any devices like washing machines and fridges. And in such situation, when I think someone will try to create an in-store pickup order, it will be really nothing cost to deliver the mobile phone from the small store to the big one, because actually it's small. But to make vice versa, to deliver some goods from the big store, like a washing machine, to the small one, it can cause a really problem, because it can be like expensive delivery, or a store is not suitable as a place for storing such big products or some kind of products, and actually any reason can happen. To avoid this, and how we can deal with it with such carts which contain the both kind of products. Actually, for this we need actually to look which stores are used for in-store pickup delivery for these products. For example, the mobile phone can be delivered for 3 of them, and washing machine only for 1 of them. First of all, how we can understand where product can be delivered to be picked up. For us, it helps the source items assignment. It doesn't really matter if product is in stock or out of stock. We believe that if product has the source item, which create relation between the product and source, then we believe that product can be delivered there. This means that in such situation, we are using to found the intersection of these two sets of pickup locations, and in result we can understand that there is only one pickup location is available to be used to pick up this order. It's our big store. It took us like 13 different modules to implement the in-store pickup. They are separated by different components, application areas, and dependencies which they have. And yeah, the last question I would like to answer to you is why I'm doing this, why I'm spending my free time to contribute to the Magento, and to what benefit I receive for this. First of all, it's professional skills growing. When I started to contribute, after I think half of year, I understand that code and solutions which I make, they become much better. They even become much better than some of my colleagues which have worked with Magento in many years more than I. It's about how to keep track of the evolution of Magento to the code, features, best practices, coding standards. They are always there, every time changing, and it's really difficult to stay in touch with it. And if you would like to stay in the head of this train but not in the tail, contribution it's really help for this. It's about fun, because contribution it's always fun, and it's about networking. Probably this is the most important, and I think the most valuable, that you can find people who are thinking in the same way. They have the same interest, the hobby with you, and and you belong to the same community. And in any way that community and contribution, it's everything about the people. And on this moment, I would like to say a special thanks to this guy. It's Maxim Novik. Actually, we together created and implemented the in-store pickup for the Magento on the contribution basis. Probably without this guide, it will look another way, as I just showed you. So thank you, Maxim. And yeah, it is the end of my presentation. And I think that we can start from the questions which you wrote to me. Probably you can add some of them. Oh. I'm trying to open it, but I cannot succeed.
Okay. So, so we have the questions
Oh,
pulled in the Q&A tab.
oh yeah. I can see that. Can we disable reservation system? I will stop sharing my screen. Can we disable the reservation system if not need on the project? Unfortunately, you cannot. Actually, Magento doesn't provide the possibility to do so. At least I found that there is a model, there's some community model which called ampersand HQ. It provides possibility to disable the reservations and execute the stock deduction on the moment of the placement of the order. The only side effects which you can face is performance degradation, because actually reservations is created is to avoid the stock deduction execution on the checkout, and you are not so free to select from which sources it will deduct the quantity. It will just do it automatically. As a Magento Inventory is being developed as a separate project, can the recent version support for grouped products be used with 2.3? I'm not sure if I fully understand your question, but the grouped products, they are already supported since Magento 2.3.2, if I'm not wrong. And about, if you are talking about bundle products, to add the same support, I think it won't be a case to backport, because at least in some modules I saw that they are introduced, bundle products. They are introduced some backward compatibilities, and I'm really don't know how to answer on your question. You can try, but actually there is nothing official that Magento can say about this. What kind of performance optimization is coming in Magento 2.4? Yes, it's fully relevant to the Magento storefront. I hope that the article was released before my presentation, but actually, due to some bureaucracy, it didn't. We are going to present these changes, which will be part of new Magento 2.4. Hopefully, it will be released today on the Magento dev blog. If we won't be so lucky, it will be released just in a few days. It will have impact on the Magento storefront, mostly for the POP, PDP, and mostly it will impact the adding the configurable product to the cart. The full line of the optimization will also include the product loading time in general in any places, and it will also include the optimization for the quote for the cart to be loaded, because currently if you checked or investigated this, if your cart has items, more than one item, it will look like for checking the salability status for each of them. With the end of this optimization, it will always check the salability status for last one, which will just dramatically increase the performance. What's the role of indexing here? Is the inventory changes on the front end happen real time once reservation done? It's a really tricky question. So about the indexing is working to reindex the stock information, and the stock information is used to load the product collections. Actually, currently the problem on the Magento storefront that when you are placing an order and reservation is created, it won't execute the indexing. It's the indexing of the stock will be postponed until the customer will create shipment. We also this fix will be included to the 2.4 release. Now, after the order will be placed, it will execute the asynchronous reindex of the record in the stock to apply the reservation which were placed. As you mentioned, Magento have removed the setup wizard for installation, and it can only be installed using command prompt. Will it not be a problem for using Windows with XAMPP? Actually, I don't know how to answer on this question. Probably it could happen, but as far as I know, at least that Windows is going to finish support of PHP in the bright future. Probably some Windows users need to search for more suitable operation system to do so. To be honest, I think that there was desired decision to make it because you know, this really great amount of code, and you need support it from the release to release, and it actually will be used only once when you install your application. And yeah, something like this. Can be used in store pickup without using MSI. Unfortunately, actually you can. But I think it won't be so fancy as it was designed. Assume that you can actually create the multiple sources, and they will like be assigned to your website. They will represent your pickup locations, and they probably don't have any quantity assigned to them. They can be just quantity 0, and this is it. So in this place, you can select these sources on the storefront to place an order, but still when you are going to notify that the customer is ready for pickup, you each time will be forced to create the internal transportation to this source. So yeah, just fully remove MSI and use in store pickup. It's not possible because in store pickup is based on the MSI project. How I can contribute to the Magento community? It's pretty easy. I think that we can. You can contact me and we can discuss it after this presentation. I will advise you first steps and where it's better to look and how it's better to start. And yeah, I think that you are going to open the new wonderful world for you. Can we show available or not available for store for pickup in PDP page based on my preferred store? Can we show available or not available for store? You know that you can. So when we started to introduce this delivery limitation and for looking for intersection, it's become much easier to play with this source assignment, because previously the philosophy of the MSI is to remove any information about sources and assignment of product to any sources from the storefront. Now it's possible. I think that you can, at least you can show the all sources which can be used, not sources like pickup locations, which can be used to deliver your product on the PDP. It's actually not require any customizations, and I think that if you would like to show that there are some stores which cannot be used to pick up this product, you can make like 2 calls. First one will get you the full list of pickup locations which are available in general for the website, and the second one will provide you the pickup locations which can be used to deliver this certain product, and you can show any information you like. Okay, is there any functionality to add promotions if customer chosen is in store pickup for place order? Yes, actually, we changed the name from the shipping methods to the delivery methods, but it still is still a shipping method. You can choose it in the promotion conditions, and you can provide some benefit for your customers if they choose in-store pickup delivery. Also, it provides possibility, as for any regular shipping method, to mention the cost for the in-store pickup delivery, but yeah, it can be used for the promotions. Request you to explain about deprecation of MySQL Server Engine and use of MySQL 8 with Magento 2.4. Yes, I think the deprecation of MySQL search engine it's become possible in the fact that mostly projects which are using on the production, they are heavy enough and have a very big catalog to be able to work with MySQL search engine. It's really provide the hardware limits, and it's really difficult to work with MySQL if your catalog has like thousands. I don't know, hundreds of thousands products, and for this, I'm not sure if 2.3 it was deprecated, but probably it is. I didn't check. So with new Magento, we don't have it anymore. Actually, it was also a surprise for me because I didn't expect that it will be removed so fast. But probably the time has come that the only search engine which Magento support natively is Elasticsearch. MySQL 8, yeah, Magento is going to support the latest versions of the technologies which are using. So it's not only about MySQL 8, it's also about the latest PHP Elasticsearch and also PHP unit library. So just like any other living engine or technology or framework, you're trying to get the best, to stay in touch with the latest changes in the time. So MySQL 8 is available to be used in any other places except, of course, the search engine. Do you have any idea when jQuery 1.12.4 and jQuery UI 1.10.4 will be upgraded in Magento Store? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any idea when it's going to be upgraded. Still, as far as I know, Magento Storefront is supported and being supported. I mean that there will be a lot of time come until we will hear something like PWA is replacing Magento Storefront. So probably I think that if it's a library upgrade, it can be done even in 2.4 line. It doesn't require you to wait until next major Magento version. Can store pickup order can be converted to online order? Yeah, it's actually a very good question. For now, as far as I know, it's required to you to make it the same way as you can do for any regular order. When you have order placed in the Magento and you would like to change the shipping method, you need to edit it. In result, the order will be cancelled and the new order will be created. So this is a way to create a new order with the online order, I mean.
Thank you so much, Alex, for the insightful session. I hope like everyone would have had a wonderful learning today. And thank you so much for spending your time for clarifying all the queries of the participant. So before ending this session, we have completed like 9 sessions so far. I mean, this is our 9th episode, and also like I would like to understand more about the communication, the channel or the communication like which you are expecting us to give. So I'm going to launch a poll now, so it will not take much of your time. Like it will take only few seconds to answer this. So that will help us to understand and know what way like you're willing us to communicate to us in terms of Magento community insights or Magento events. Okay. So, and also I would like to take you through these sneak preview of our next upcoming sessions. So let me share my screen. So with all your support, so we have crossed like 9 episodes with all the Magento masters across the globe, and the next episode is our 10th one, and we have Max Franco, who is a Magento Master 2020, and he's a CEO and founder of Franco Consulting. And the session is scheduled on 12th August 2020, and we will come back with the registration link and the topic he's gonna handle for the day. And this Friday, we have an very interesting discussion with our internal folks of Magento enthusiasts. Like we're gonna have a panel discussion. So if you guys wish to hear like all things about Magento, and I would say like no, this session will help you well. And this conversation is going to be among the Magento full stack developer, the Magento solution specialist, and Magento U authorized trainer of DCKAP. And this session will be moderated by the Mohan Nadrajan, our service practice leader and entrepreneur at DCKAP. So again, no, we'll get back to you with the registration link for this session. And all that said, thank you so much, Alex, for your valuable time and for the insight which you have given for the day. And hope you guys would have enjoyed the complete session. And that said, looking forward to hosting you on another insightful session with Max Franco. And of course, like we have another session this Friday. I hope like everyone will join us. And thank you, Alex, and thank you, everyone. See you.
Yeah, thank you.